Morning, everyone. This looks like a beautiful place to camp. That's actually not allowed in Denmark, and yet it can be. This is the bonfire hut out in the forest where the parking space is down there, where I go swimming with Sappho every morning. And whoops! Among the trees are a few vans today. There are people parking up in the forest, sleeping. Now that's illegal, but nobody really cares because they're out of sight of everyone, and that's one of the rules to make it legal. Now Denmark has about 275 state forests. In Sweden, most of the forests are privately owned, but in Denmark, most of the forests are owned by the state. And the Ministry for Environment has a department called Naturstyrelsen. That's the nature. That's the Department for Nature, and the Department for Nature has designated a lot of places in those 275 forests to be places where you can wild camp under some conditions. Now, the most well-known condition for wild camping is the 1, 2, 3 rule. Now, this couple here, or this family here, I'm not going to show their tags, but they allowed me to film. They are just driving around and camping at a park place. Now, the rule is actually that you shouldn't camp at a park place. This family down here is a German family, and everybody's having a good time and nobody cares. And I don't think the police would come out here and tell them to move, because they do no harm. The police does if people park in the open, by the ocean, and block the view for everyone else. But this ain't a parking spot, and if they stay here over one night, it's okay. It's not legal, but it's okay. And the legality of wild camping is called the 1, 2, 3 rule in designated areas in the 275 forests. And the 1, 2, 3 rule means that you can only stay one night at the same spot. You can only have 2 tents, and the tents can only be for maximum 3 people. So that's the 1, 2, 3 rule. Then there are designated shelter places, and there are primitive camping sites, and then of course the camping sites themselves. Primitive camping sites are limited in the way that there mostly are no toilets, there is no access to water, and you're absolutely not allowed to drive down to them in a motor vehicle. So this is neither. Ow, sorry, it was an ant biting my foot. This is not a shelter place. It's a park place, and it's a resting place. You can go here to this bonfire hut. You can make a fire in it. There's a barbecue grill place in the center of it, and you can sit out here and you can dine out here. A lot of young people come out here in the evenings. Of course, you have to clean up everything, and there's a designated bin over there, and there's a box next to the bin for bottles and cans and everything. And there's a sign on it, what it's called. This is Haslevej Rønne, and if you want to call for help. It's 100. It's made and meant for people to come here and recreate and have a nice time. You can hear the sound here is a bit different. There's a hole in the roof, so the smoke can get out. And yeah, these places, there are plenty of them all over Denmark. There are none such places in Sweden, as far as I know, because most Swedish forests are privately owned. And you have the allemannsretten, all people's right to roam. And that's very different, Denmark and Sweden. So, can you free camp in Denmark? Is it legal? Yes, it is, but only in designated areas. And gonna turn the camera now. We're just gonna see that it is me. We're not gonna go down and film that car because we're not gonna show the license plate. But it is, you can easily find places where it's legal to camp and put up your tent. Now the rules over the 1, 2, 3 rule is that you must camp under trees or in midst of the trees. You're not allowed to camp out in open spaces. And you're not to be visible. Your tent is not to be visible from the road or from paths going around. So there are some restrictions, but at the same time, it's easy to find places where it's possible. Can you camp on the beach? No, you cannot, but you can stay overnight at the beach if you don't have a tent. You're allowed to sleep on the beach in your sleeping bag or whatever you have to sleep in, but you're not allowed to pitch a tent. And there's a different rule as well, that you can pitch a tarp or some sort of shelter in the forest and sleep under it, but it is not allowed to be compared to a tent. It's not allowed to have the qualities that a tent has. Now, what that means specifically, I don't know into detail, but it makes, everybody would know it, I guess, that you could just put up a tarp for shelter and sleep under it, but it's not allowed to have a steady bottom, maybe. That's the rule. I'm sorry, I didn't write the rule, is what it says. It's not to have tent-like qualities. So, yeah, many possibilities to do it. And, of course, there are a few privately owned forests, smaller forests, and you can tent there if you just ask the owner. Mostly they would say, yes, of course, go ahead, put up a tent, just pick up all your garbage, and that includes toilet paper. Put it in a bag, take it to the next bin. There are loads in Denmark. So whenever you see anything made up by these red posts here, I'm going to show you again. It's red poles that go up in the forest or go across a path. You will know that this is state forest, and that is the Department of Nature that puts up the signs, that puts up the bins, and they have locals, and they put up toilets as well. They have locals taking care of them. There are signs. Hund I snor. In Swedish, that would mean dog in snot. It doesn't in Danish. It means dogs have to be on a leash. And so everything is so neatly and nicely cut out for you in Denmark. There's no doubt what you can or cannot do. And that means that there is a gray zone, that people know that they cannot do it. People know that they're really not allowed to park here and sleep overnight, but nobody cares. Because what harm do these 2 vans do. No harm whatsoever. And they will be on their way and find a new place to park. It gets annoying if people stay more nights so that they kind of have their campsite. Mostly it's the campsite owners that are annoyed by it, and I can understand that. They lose out on some money. But when you have a camper, it's because you want to drive and be in it and camp anywhere. And I believe that most campers in vans like this will go to some of the campsites at least one night out of a week to empty the toilets, to get clean water, maybe get a shower, and the campsite owners get their money from that as well, and from all the tent campers. So yeah, illegality and conduct, that's what you have to feel a bit in between, to see how illegal is it and how bad is it, even if it is illegal. There has to be regulations, but how bad is it to bend these regulations a bit? I'm not talking about having to break the law all the time because the law is stupid. The law is not stupid. The regulations are very smart, and they have to be there to protect nature so that we all can enjoy nature. But the damage done by bending the regulations a bit must be taken into consideration as well. Now you see here we have some more red poles. There's a gate here. Sometimes it's closed, sometimes it's open, and you will see this. That is the Ministry of Environment. Miljø means environment, ministry. Naturstyrelsen means the government, the Department of Nature, and you're not allowed to drive. So it's put out for you. It's really simple, it's easy, it's logical with all the rules. And then you bend the regulations a little bit to make it run smoothly for everyone. Everyone can enjoy their days and their breakfast, as long as they don't do harm on anyone, as long as they don't leave garbage in the forests. It's not a problem. So I hope that cleared a bit up for you, what is legal, what is not legal. And right now I have to go to work. Oh, bicyclists in the forest. They're allowed to be here as well. So that was the legality and illegality of wild camping in Denmark. See you on the next one. Bye-bye.